got a gun in your face and nothing left to compromise. Little disheveled
DONN. It's the one and only Dogs of No Nation. Snoop Dogg, Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop. Copyright strike, straight off the bat.
Yeah.
First minute.
Yeah, you sound so much like Nate Dogg. They're gonna be like, oh shit, copyright strike right there.
Who's Nate Dogg?
He's the guy who does like whenever you're listening to like not whenever, but like there's a lot of tracks like Ice Cube, Dre, Snoop Dogg, the one who's doing the like hold up and like actually doing the mixing and the beat. That's Nate Dogg.
Okay.
So like you've heard him before. He's just not usually.
He's
like,
the shoutcaster.
Yeah, and also he's like the guy who puts the beat on. Like, I mean,
is he the one who goes Jason Derulo? Or is that Jason Derulo?
No. It's not quite like that.
Is that Jason Derulo who says that, or is that a guy
I think it's Jason Derulo who says that.
I can't get behind someone who says their own name at the start of a song.
The only person I can do that for is Kid Rock, because
Kid Rock.
You gotta have some big testicles to literally like start your career as a musician by screaming your stage name. It's like, dude, who are you? Well, he answered my question. His name is
Kid Rock.
Kid Rock.
Definitively.
Welcome.
I'm welcome. Welcome to you, Ethan. I'm Rob Thornhill. With me, joined by my larger, more flamboyant, more American co-host, Ethan Thomas.
Yes, that's right.
Would you like a more decisive introduction? With less self-doubt.
I mean, no, that's fine. I mean, those are all accurate things to say about me. Anywho,
we are doing a podcast about music.
Right.
I've got some Nirvana news for you, yo.
Oh, really?
Nirvana is getting sued.
Okay.
Nirvana, not like the band, because like, well, you know.
The astral plane in Hinduism, I got it.
I mean, not the band, you know, the business conglomerate which now identifies as Nirvana or whatever it is.
Sure.
Like,
yeah, the brand.
Yeah. So Nirvana is being sued for using art from an illustration based on Dante's Inferno.
Wait, what?
You're aware of Dante's Inferno?
Yeah, the Divine Comedy.
The Divine Comedy epic.
Which at this point I would assume is, public.
Maybe it's public domain, but the art is not, I suppose.
Okay, fair.
Well, you know that there's like the 9 circles of hell, and like they've got some writing in them, and you got Nirvana, the T-shirt. So it's got Nirvana and it's got them on it, and I will show you. And then on the back, it says Nirvana, fudge packing, crack smoking, Satan worshipping motherfucker.
Wow,
that's pretty rock and roll.
Yeah,
that's pretty rock and roll.
Is that on the shirt, or is that like the...
It's on the back of the shirt. Here you go.
Oh, I know that art. All right.
It's a T-shirt that was made back in 1989.
I mean, yeah.
The band's like not...
People can squeeze money out of it, and I'm sure they'll give it their damnedest,
Heir of prominent British artist.
Oh, wow.
C.W. Scott Giles filed a suit alleging that Nirvana ripped off Scott Giles' illustration of Dante's Circles of Upper Hell. Scott Giles' granddaughter filed the suit. Seems to get a life.
Yeah, she really does.
Seems to get a life. She's probably making bank from that buck.
Maybe.
Childish Gambino
I love him.
faces copyright infringement claim over This Is America.
I hate him. What happened?
I feel bad because I'm not going to be able to say this name remotely like what it is. Rapper Emelike Nwasuhucha, who performs as Kid West, says the song copied his track Made in America?
I don't know.
Well, he claims This Is America infringes on the copyright of his Made in America.
So, I mean, it's one of those things where it sounds like you hear the headline, you're like, oh, well, maybe, because...
He claims the chorus or hook of This Is America is unmistakably substantially similar, if not practically identical to Made in America. We gotta check this out.
Right.
And we'll cut this out because... Copyright, but...
You listen to it, it's
like he's
Made in America. Oh,
this guy is like clearly...
Don't catch you slipping up.
Plus, he could copyright us. Like,
that's true.
He sounds like he's on the ball when it comes to that.
It's like he's ready for it. He's gunning.
He's ready for it.
He is gunning.
Okay, so we listened to the song. It's not at all dissimilar.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say. I wouldn't say identical, but like that is real. That's real close.
It's real close.
The rhythm, the drums, the cadence. The cadence.
It's very close to identical.
Yeah, the cadence sounds really similar. I will say that whenever I listen to Childish Gambino, I think This Is America was striking song. He knew what he was doing, like when he released it. Like
He knew he was stealing from.
well, maybe, but like I mean, like he knew he was publishing something that was going to like grab people's attention.
Are you familiar with the work of Cardi B?
Yes and no.
Well, she's also been in the news for copyright infringement.
I'm not surprised.
She's getting sued by Kevin Brophy Jr.
Okay.
because of a back tattoo that's on a model. The model is supposedly called the 6 at 6. Like the 6, number 6, at 6, the spell 6.
Okay.
Anyway, this model's back tattoo is featured on the cover of her Gangster Bitch Music Volume 1 mixtape.
I love it.
That guy paid for the tattoo. If he wants it to be somewhere.
I suppose, but the thing is that it's like when you use it for something else that's going to make money, it changes things. Like, I mean, like, for example...
That's true.
Like, there's a song, I know this because of, like, a behind-the-scenes discussion, but Ninja Sex Party has a song called Eating in the Shower, and they hired the model that they used in the music video, like, quite ahead of time. And, you know, it's about eating food in the shower. That's the punchline. So, like, half of it is she is, like, pretty naked in this music video. But in the time between they hired her and they shot the music video, she got a big ass Legend of Zelda tattoo right on her sternum. And it's like, you can't put that in the music video because Nintendo will sue the hell out of you.
Nintendo loves suing people.
And they love suing people. So the behind the scenes,
they love making their fans sad by taking stuff away from them.
Like, so the lead singer Dan was saying, like, it was extra hard on our makeup crew because, like, every 5 minutes they had to turn the shower off, towel would roll off, and then re-makeup over the tattoo and put her back in the shower.
As you were saying that, I just put together the implications that this was being filmed in a shower.
Yeah.
I was like, you can just make up over the tattoo.
Oh.
Filming in a shower.
Yeah, so it's like every time it's like you start seeing, like, the colors come out, it's like, oh, shit, cut.
Could you not just avoid the sternum?
Well, I mean, like, I don't know, unless it was all back shots, because, like, I remember watching the music video, and, like, you can't tell, like, the makeup was really good, but, like, apparently it was, like, a really big, like, took up half her, like, stomach area, so. Anyway, I can understand, you know, it's a shame, because I kind of agree with you, it's like, well, you know, like, you're not selling the product, it's just what, you know, one of those unfortunate kind of deals.
It is. I've got one more bit of news for you.
Cool.
A 5,000-person outdoor music festival was held without masks or social distancing to study how COVID-19 spreads in Liverpool City.
That sounds like an Onion article.
That sounds like it's the start of a Resident Evil movie.
It also does that, yeah.
What do you think about that? The way it's worded, like, is that really how it went down? Like, an outdoor music festival was held without masks or social distancing to study how COVID-19 spreads. If I type in Liverpool COVID concert, that will...
Let's find out. Because here's the thing is, the first thing that pops into my head, there's two things that pop in my head. The first one is, that seems like horrible. Like, that seems like you can't get away with that. They did it to study it. They said, yes, we're going to expose thousands of people to the virus because they said they were willing to because they wanted to go to a live concert. But we're doing it specifically because we want them to catch the virus so we can measure how it spreads. That sounds super illegal.
I'm pretty sure it's true. It's in The Guardian, which is a respected news.
Yeah, I like The Guardian. That's fascinating. I mean, part of me, that's wild. So, I mean, obviously, those people probably had to sign something. They probably had to, like, all commit and say, yeah, we're willing to do this. But, like, that still sounds kind of effed up.
The Weeknd has refused to walk back to the Grammys. Boycott. Refuses to walk back. Grammys boycott despite the elimination of secret committees.
As in...
This is a confusing headline in a lot of ways.
I think I understand.
The Weeknd is like saying, like...
The Grammy...
The secret committees of the Grammys have been identified.
Yeah.
And they are supposedly being eliminated. The Weeknd is still being like, nah, I'm not having this.
I'm not going.
What do you think he's going to do with his Grammy if he gets one? Is he nominated?
I probably... I mean, dude, Blinding Lights, like, he has to be nominated for Grammy. That's, like, it's been in the top 10 forever.
Well...
Blinding Lights is pretty good. It's got kind of it almost has kind of like a Tame Impala kind of feel where, like, it's a bit more trancey and, like, '80s, like '80s wave. You know what I mean? Like vaporwave. But it's a nice song. I still think the 2015 album's my favorite of the Weeknd's, but he has some really good new songs too.
Didn't he do something weird, like a football show or like some sort of?
He did the halftime show at the Super Bowl, and the thing is, a lot of people who like don't know a lot about the Weeknd. I'm not like an expert at all, but he basically like played up a story arc across albums that he did in real life. So it's like he basically like altered himself physically, and like if you were just watching it, you'd be like, what the hell is this? Again, I don't know that much about it, but it is kind of an interesting read if you like performance art kind of stuff.
I'm into performance art.
I mean,
what do you mean he altered himself physically?
Like
was he getting a nose job?
He showed up, I forgot if it was to an awards ceremony or if it was during like an album release, but basically there was just a bunch of pictures of him with like a metric ton of Botox. So like his face was just like inflated, and it looked like he had gotten minor cosmetic surgery everywhere.
Okay.
And everyone was like, oh my god, he's gone off the deep end. He's spending all his money on cosmetic surgery.
Holy mother of God.
Yeah.
What? If you're a British listener, this guy looks like Bo Selected out.
But again, like that
was... Oh my God.
But yeah, like that was temporary, because like he did like bring his face back down. So
is it that easy to just be like? I
mean, if you're rich and you got time and you're crazy enough, I'm sure you can physically alter yourself and come back. Pretty dedicated performance art, if we're gonna title it that. Like it's pretty wild.
No, yeah, like the experimental artist in me is like big up to this guy, but also like,
yikes.
Oh, like it's. Let me show you Bo Selector, so you know kind of what
Oh my!
It looks just like him. It looks just like him. So this brought on the idea of our feature, controversial mishaps.
Yeah.
Or
scandals, feuds, like any of those kind of things involving awards.
What's going down at the award ceremonies?
Let me start in 2001. Eminem, great rapper, if I say so myself, but in 2001...
Why did you say that like you contributed to his work somehow?
Yeah, you know.
Great rapper, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, you know.
Damn good album.
I produced the second Marshall Mathers LP, little did you know.
I'm gonna like check the back of that EP, and it's just gonna be like
Ethan's
mix, Ethan's son, arrangement.
Yeah, I did Monsters, that was me. No, so in 2001, there was a big stink over his alleged homophobia. Because, you know, he's written lyrics that are aggressive and not pro-gay. Point is, Eminem had angered the LGBT community in the turn of the millennia. Again, it's like I never saw Eminem as like a hater. So you get this story from 2001 where I don't know if it was in order to combat that, but just as a matter of like what, I don't know, maybe just to kind of like shove it, like say tell people to fuck off. He did his performance was it at the Grammys or was it at it was at the Grammys, the 2001 Grammys. He did a duet of his song Stan with Elton John. And, you know, Elton John is possibly the most openly gay musician of all time. So basically they performed together, and like Eminem still couldn't let it lie. So like GLAAD, the association or alliance, whatever, they were outside the Grammys and they were doing, you know, like a picketing protest, like, you know, Eminem hates gay people, he's homophobic, you shouldn't buy his stuff. And even after doing like a cool, you know, duet with Elton John and like hugging him on the stage and like, you know, being bro-y with him, when Eminem left the Grammys, he flicked off all the people protesting. So it's like, yeah, that's just such an Eminem thing.
That's pretty good.
Then I found out there's a part 2 to this story, where some people were like, man, like, okay, so yeah, like, but he just performed with Elton John to be like a poser. Like,
oh yeah, he was like, who's gay and famous?
Yeah, let me perform with Elton John. And then you find out that in I think it was 2006, whenever Elton John got it wasn't married back then because they couldn't get married, so it was like he was domestically partnered with his spouse. I think they're married now. But basically when he, in the 2000s, was the equivalent of getting married as a gay man, Eminem bought and sent him a wedding gift, which were dual gem encrusted dildos with like a loving photo and a letter. And Elton John went public about like, oh, these are great, like love you Eminem, and it's like, oh my god. I think they're decorative, Rob. I don't think anyone's like, he's looking at me like, why would you put a dildo inside of you with like jewels on it? So yeah, after Britney Spears had her troubles, basically like she was like the perfect like young and sexy 90s idol, which is creepy when you consider she started her career at 16. And like Hit Me Baby was literally like written by a bunch of old white men where they dressed up a teenage girl like a sexy schoolgirl and then had her singing about how she's not innocent. And it's like, okay, Britney Spears, God bless her. And I love Britney Spears. They put her on...
Like a sister.
No, I had a crush on her when I was a kid.
Like a sister, like an American South sister.
Yeah, like they put me on they put the poor girl on like a train to self-destruction is what I'm trying to say. You make someone that young, you put cameras in her face. They did a whole real messed up episode.
Their brain's going to implode.
Exactly, which basically is what happened in the mid 2000s. She was married to that absolute, like worthless dick Kevin Federline. She had a couple kids. He's worthless. You don't need to look into him. He wrote some real shitty music. Pardon me, but like, don't give Kevin Federline any attention. He's really bad. But she was just on a road to ruin. And then basically, when her music was no longer the most popular, it just became like popular to lampoon and like abuse her because it's like she was popular, now she's not. Like, let's hate on her. It's like, so you get like famous takes like the Chris Crocker like leave her alone kind of stuff. The reason I'm saying this all outside of like award show stuff is because she'd been through so much that literally had a mental breakdown. She shaved her head and went on record as saying like she did it so that people would stop taking pictures. But, I mean,
they probably took more pictures.
No, I mean like it's interesting. Like I remember this like pop culture thing is that all the news that whole year, Britney Spears has a meltdown, shaves her head, and then no one ever talked about her ever again. And then basically in the late like 2010, like so like 3 to 4 years later, she came back. She started writing music again. She has a show in Vegas. I'm pretty sure she still performs. I mean, I don't know about COVID, but she basically became one of those like, I'm retiring from like world touring and posting new stuff. It's like I just do shows in Vegas for people who still love me. And I'd love, if she's still doing shows, I'd love to go see a Britney Spears concert. The point is, I bring this up because when she made her comeback, the whole reason I told the little Britney Spears story is that she makes her comeback, and immediately people are like, hey, can you tell us about the mental breakdown, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's been like years.
Where did you put your hair?
Yeah, so like, instead of like, hey, how about the new music? It's like, blah, blah, blah. So Madonna, entering from stage left, Madonna, who, I like Madonna, but hasn't really been relevant for, at this point, like 30 years, entered the picture with Britney on like the red carpet or whatever carpet it is. They're like walking into the awards ceremony and they got the cameras on the pop stars. She grabs Britney, she screams into the camera, she's not your bitch, and then she tongue kisses her on camera, and it's like, whoa. Like, oh my god, this was not like I'm gonna kiss her and like I'm like stay away from her. It was like fuck you people, like real tongue in throat kind of stuff.
And accurate. But Britney is not their bitch. Her song does say it's Britney, bitch.
Right.
No, it's Britney the bitch.
If anything,
I'm Britney. You're the bitch.
If anything,
it's Britney.
We're the bitches.
Bitch. We, the collective.
We.
The royal we.
The royal we.
The royal we. That's
are the bitch.
The royal we are the bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do another one, kind of jumping ahead into the future. Miley Cyrus sent a proxy to pick up her award at the VMA. This is just so weird. So 2014, Miley Cyrus made Wrecking Ball. It is a good music video if you've not seen it. She wins the award, which I think that's fair. It was a great music video. And she sends Jesse to accept her award for Wrecking Ball.
Who's Jesse?
He was, I'm pretty sure he was a model, but basically not a famous model, just like
the 6 at 6?
Just like a model. Yeah, like that kind of thing. And basically he accepted the award on her, like I said, like I'm holding this award for Miley Cyrus. She wanted me to have the time to talk about the homeless youth of America. Positive message. Weird.
The
Homeless youth, as in like children who don't have homes.
I mean,
which like
okay, positive message.
Yeah.
Why was Miley Cyrus bringing this up in the award ceremonies?
See, that I don't remember it. Like I don't remember very well why she chose that. Maybe it was just something that, you know, the rich pop star heiress to already fortune of a country singer. It's kind of like, okay, like I'm sure maybe she's really passionate about it. I don't know, but the thing is, like why Miley Cyrus and why the VMAs? And the thing is, everybody thought it was a nice message because, like he said, I think the quote is, "Though I may have been invisible on the streets, I have a lot of the same dreams that brought many of you here in this like building." So basically, like, I'm no different than you. Even though, like, I've had it really bad and I grew up on the streets. The awkward thing is that Jesse was, like, a real good-looking model, did not look like a homeless person. I don't know if he was a homeless person, but it's like...
So she paid a model to pretend to be homeless.
To spread a word about homeless people. So it's like, instead of, like... And again,
Why not get a homeless person?
Exactly. So it's like, this is... I can't say this is factual, completely factual, but the thing is, from hearsay... is basically like, okay, Miley Cyrus allegedly, I'll say right now, allegedly hired or had basically a good-looking model come in with, like, who was scripted to talk about homeless youth on camera, holding her award and being like, yeah, this is Miley Cyrus's award, by the way, homeless youth in America, you know, God bless, and then walked off. So, I wasn't really telling that story to, like, crap on Miley Cyrus. It's just kind of like, what, why, when, like, this is just a weird thing to do here. Like, it's I'm not gonna bring this up, but it's kind of like, it's just, it takes me to, I guess, the finale here. I kind of want to get into it, of when people use a platform for something, or take a platform for something to say something that is not completely relevant to what the situation is. So, Kanye West.
Yes. Yes, I'm already in.
Our man Kanye during...
Bless his soul.
Yeah, sure. During bless his...
Kanye for president, 2020...
Whatever. Whenever he decides he wants to. Everyone knows Kanye, Taylor, feud of the decade, I guess you want to say it. Like, they wrote songs about this. It was at the VMAs in... 2009, Taylor Swift wins Best Music Video. So huge award, really big deal. And remember, in 2009, Taylor Swift was popular, of course, but she wasn't like she was still doing like sort of half country, half pop. Mostly like her on her acoustic and singing about like high school breakups, like, you know, very stereotypical, oh, that's what Taylor Swift is. This is before, like, her major stuff. But, man, she was 19 years old when this happened.
Oh.
Yeah.
Kanye.
Put yourself in her shoes. You're 19. You've been writing music for years. And, like, you know, you're well-known and loved by mostly younger girl demographic. Like, you gotta feel for Taylor. Because, like... she just kind of had to stand there and take it. Because, like, even as a 19-year-old, Taylor Swift's a smart business lady. She knows, like, if she, like, strikes back, it's just going to blow up in her face. Swift, the song was You Belong With Me, which, if you're not into pop, maybe you don't know it. But You Belong With Me was, like, probably one of the biggest pop songs end of 2000. However, can't say I disagree with Kanye. I disagree with what he did. I don't disagree with what he said. Because the reason he took the mic... So he was like basically... Beyonce did like one of the best music videos or something. He literally grabbed the microphone and said, Taylor, I'm going to let you finish, but Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time. Then he handed the mic back to her and jumped off stage. Here's the thing. The music video was Single Ladies, which is a great music video. I mean, like,
is that the one where it's her and like two ladies?
It's
black and white.
Yeah, they're doing the iconic like Ben dance where they're like doing the bend pop and they're waving the hands in the air. Like people,
It's not one of the greatest music videos of all time.
It's the reason,
it's good. It's nice.
The reason it was so popular.
I guess it's kind of minimalistic in a way, which is cool. But it's.
I appreciate your
it's
your like outsider take on it.
It's Beyonce doing a dance.
The reason Americans
it's Beyonce doing a dance.
What else do you need?
I mean,
hyperbolic, yes. My point being, people love that music video for a lot of reasons. Dance was great, the song was fantastic, but overall, Beyonce was in a trio in the 90s. She was part of Destiny's Child, and great.
That's who the other two girls in the video were. They were Destiny's Child.
They came back.
Oh my God! What a journey!
So exactly. So
I'm feeling hyped, and I don't know who these people are.
So people see the other two members of Destiny's Child dancing with her. They're like, "Oh, it's Destiny's Child!" Like they're with Beyonce right there on the stage with her, like just like the '90s. So like people were losing their minds over it. It was pretty fun, and like. I mean, I was really little in the 90s. It's not like I was like, Destiny's Child's my favorite, but like I knew of Destiny's Child because they were huge. So I agree that I think Single Ladies probably should have won instead of, You Belong to Me. They were both good pop songs. I just like Beyonce better than Taylor Swift, but that's my opinion. Point is, she was a 19-year-old girl. Kanye was already established and really popular, and the dude, it's not even steal your thunder. It's just like completely like break your moment. Like, this is your moment. Like, it's like if you won the Oscars for best film or best director and then somebody ran over and smacked you in the knee with a baseball bat. It's like I just want to say thank you. Like, I don't, why do you need to do this to me? He could have sent a tweet.
At least he started with, I'm going to let you finish.
Right. He did it again.
What? Really?
Yeah.
To Taylor?
No, it was a different. It was
Who did he do it to?
Was it with Beck? Did he try to do it to? I want to see. Was it Beck? Yeah,
it's Beck.
It was Beck. Like, what?
Kanye should have taken the mic from Beck. Wait,
that's the title
Kanye
of the headline.
should have taken the mic from Beck at the Grammys. Should have.
He tried. You get that.
Right as Beck was about to accept his award over Beyonce and Sam Smith, he's jumping to Beyonce's defense again.
I think.
Is there something going on with...
No, because Beyonce doesn't need that. I think Kanye just wishes he was married to Beyonce.
That's what I'm saying.
Instead of Jay-Z. Oh, yeah. I've thought that for a long time.
Oh. Wow.
I mean, everyone wishes they were married. I wish I was married to Beyonce. Like, good Lord.
West walked on stage, extended his hand towards the microphone, and then smiled and returned to his seat.
What? Oh.
So he didn't.
He tried to.
I don't think he tried to. I think he was doing a thing. He was like doing a bit. He was referencing that time where he
was memeing himself.
He was memeing himself.
The meme lord.
You know what?
I like Kanye.
I'm back on board with Kanye.
Yeah,
I'm back on board with Kanye. I'm a Beck fan, but I'm absolutely back on board with Kanye.
Dude, Beck does not look amused. He was getting ready to throw hands, which I'd love to see Beck throw hands because he doesn't seem like the kind of person.
Yeah, it seems like he'd blow over in the wind.
Right? Yeah. Read what West said to E! News.
The Grammys, if they want real artists to come back, they need to stop playing with us, West told E! News. Beck needs to respect artistry, and he should have given his award to Beyonce. And at this point, we're tired of it because what happens is, when you keep on diminishing art and not respecting the craft and smacking people in the face after they deliver monumental feats of music, you're disrespectful to inspiration.
Because what has Beck done that's artistic?
But also, like, that entire paragraph is, like, riddled with...
Right.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. This is the utterings of a madman.
I mean, he's absolutely chaotic.
This is the... It's just...
It's wild. Man. So yeah, that I can't beat that because like that became like an institution in popular music. Kanye versus Taylor, all because of that moment where I don't know if the man was drunk or if he was just high on himself. Which it's Kanye, so definitely.
Was there a build up after those two songs traded or not really?
I mean, it just kept building up more and more because of social media and stuff. that was like the birth of, oh, Kanye might be insane. And like when he makes a comment like, he should have respected musicians and art and given his award to Beyonce, so Beyonce would have had an award that said winner of 2016 VMA Beck. Like, what are you talking about? Beyonce doesn't want that award. She already has hundreds of amazing awards for great music.
Would you like to hear about some British award ceremonies?
Yeah, I know nothing.
This is a recent piece of news from the NME, which is, don't ask me what it stands for. It's a magazine predominantly, so it could be something like New Magazine England.
Okay.
It probably isn't that. Though it mostly focus on like indie bands. Not necessarily independent, but like the indie rock scene.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And in a recent award, well, not super recent, but like February, a guy called Slowtie. So Slowtie, there's an award host called Catherine Ryan. I think she's Canadian. And basically, he got on stage with her, laying on a lot of sexual innuendos to this host, who is a comedian as well. Here's some examples. This was on live television in Britain. Smell my cologne. Smells good, don't it? He tells the comedian before leaning in to seemingly kiss her cheek. After she pushed him away, Slowtie continued to make suggestive comments. Baby girl.
Oh.
I don't want to have to do this to you right now. But everybody, she needs to understand the levels right now. If you want to do something, see me later. She wants me to tend to her flowers. You ain't never had no one play with you like that. Stop playing with me. Slowtie was halfway through his acceptance speech when an audience member then tried to yell at him, calling him misogynistic.
Yeah.
Warranted.
Right.
Absolutely warranted.
Yeah,
prompting the rapper to throw his microphone into the direction, after which he called out, "Thank you for ruining my speech. Thank you very much, waste man." Anyway, like, this is kind of like how it turned into a big thing, and she was like sending some Twitter messages being like, he didn't make me uncomfortable. This is why we need women in positions of power. Here, he had lost the moment he opened his mouth to me and against me as a comic, not as a woman.
Yeah.
Like, he lost. I was operating 2 out of 10. What a sweet boy. I diffused it. But she's got slammed after saying that, for saying you shouldn't use sarcasm to mask discomfort because it doesn't excuse what he did. He's since like said some stuff like, oh yeah, I was drunk. I'm not going to drink again. I was a bit of an asshole. I think like, stuff like that on live TV coming out after a few drinks doesn't really like...
Yeah.
You're a bit of a bastard.
Yeah, if all it takes is like, yeah, I got a little drunk, and then I started verbally, sexually harassing this woman on live television. It's like, well, maybe you shouldn't be allowed on live television.
Maybe you should check yourself, fool.
Yeah, maybe you should tend your own flowers.
Tend to your own flowers, Slowtie.
Yeah, pervert.
If you've got any flowers to begin with. Have you heard of the Brits?
Like the people of England?
There's a music award called the Brits.
I've not heard of this.
And it's basically the biggest music award in England. I'm going to give you some random tidbits, and then I've got an absolute belter to finish on. But I'm going to give you some random bits first. Jarvis Cocker, who is the frontman of a British kind of indie-ish band called Pulp. He invaded the stage of Michael Jackson, the Brits, while Michael Jackson was performing Earth Song. And Earth Song's got a lot of Christ-like imagery of like him being all like, oh, here I am on the poles, like wind's blowing against me. I'm Michael Jackson, deal with it.
Right.
And Jarvis Cocker got on the stage and showed him his arse. And then got taken off the stage and was taken by the police for questioning for supposedly injuring 3 of the children that Michael Jackson had gathered around him during this time.
That guy showed Michael Jackson his bare ass with children on the stage?
No, not his bare. I think it said brackets clothed.
Oh.
Like his pants were on, but he mooned him kind of cheekily.
Just shaked his butt at him.
Like he shaked his ass at him and was just like, it was protest of Jackson equating himself to Christ.
I mean...
He was since... yeah. I mean, yeah. Like, say what you will about Michael Jackson. We're not going to go into that right now.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be equating himself to Christ.
Right.
Have you heard of Chumbawamba?
Yeah, everyone in America knows Chumbawamba, but they don't know they know Chumbawamba.
They threw a bucket of iced water over Labour cabinet member John Prescott. This is John Prescott, who's basically like a right-wing guy in the what claimed to be the left-wing party. And he was at the awards trying to show he was cool, and they threw a bucket of water over him.
That is one way to automatically look lame. I just love it as Chumbawamba. It's like, Who are these rapscallions tossing water on me? I don't think British people talk like that.
The band Chumbawamba.
Yeah.
I got some real stuff here, though. Bear with me 1 minute.
I can say this is real stuff. As we know, Chumbawamba is a figment of our collective imagination. I get knocked down, but I don't get up again. That's the only song Americans know, by the way. Tub thumping.
It's the only song anyone knows by them.
Fair enough.
So, are you familiar with songstress Adele?
Oh, yes.
What are your thoughts on Adele?
She consistently writes powerful and catchy music.
Great performer.
Oh, yeah.
Are you aware of the band Blur?
Yes.
One of the top two overrated.
Overrated. They don't exist.
One of the top two overrated British bands of the early 90s.
Along with Oasis.
Along with Oasis. This was during the 2012 Brit Awards. And Adele had won the award for Album of the Year.
Oh, wow.
She'd won the award for Album of the Year. A Blur was set to do a 10-minute kind of medley of their songs at the end. I'm just going to plug this up top. I cannot stand medleys, and I hate the idea of them. I absolutely despise the idea of medley. Anytime, every single time, I watch any kind of a music award show, or like any kind of performance, and have been like playing a bit of their song, and then instantly it's just like, the tempo is just like, and then they launch into the chorus of a different song. I'm like, I want to kill myself, and I want to kill everyone in this band that's performing today. I despise medleys of a passion. I hate it. It's cringy. It makes me feel a bit sick.
And I don't like it.
I don't. But Blur were going to do like a 10-minute medley of all their biggest hits.
Oh.
Which is kind of not good, because I'm actually a Blur fan. Especially when I was like, younger, I used to love Blur. And like they've got some bangers, but it's always their unknown songs. You put up a medley of their most famous songs, you're in for a rough time. And Adele was doing her acceptance speech. Now, the Brits was quite closely tied on time and what they could achieve.
Oh, yeah.
And your favourite bipedal cat singer, James Corden.
Oh, God. Oh, God. I love that you refer to him like that, but God.
Your favourite bipedal singing cat, James Corden, was hosting the Brits at this time. So, one of the greatest singers of her time, with the most awful man of his time, and one of the most overrated bands of their time. So basically, he had to cut her off to lead into Blur doing their 10-minute thing. And the controversy came because Adele gave the camera the finger.
As she should.
Power to you, girl.
Yeah.
Power to you. Dogs of no nation are with you. Anyway, that's a nice little moment for you there.
That's funny, man.
It's pretty good.
I mean, it's sad, but like, I feel sad for Adele.
It's time to give you the headline piece of news for this feature.
I'm excited.
Which is involving an artist that no one will ever have heard of, including me, before I read this, called the KLF.
The KLF.
The KLF.
Sounds like a radio channel.
What does KLF stand for, you might ask?
Killing Ladies Forthright.
They are also known as the Justified Ancients of Mumu, the Time Lords, K Foundation, 2K, K2 Plant Higher.
What?
Yeah, I don't really know. So, they're a British electronic band. They release hip-hop inspired sample-heavy records. They pioneered stadium house music, ambient house.
That sounds contradictory.
I
did stadium house music. We're gonna chill out.
It's a very fair point.
100,000 people in the stage. Let's chill the fuck out.
So, they were accepting an award, Best British Group, which was shared with Simply Red. They were booked to open the show. The duo, so this is an electronic pop dance duo, they collaborated on this show. Unexpected collaboration. Was not in the bookings. Was not like you're going to perform with these guys. They collaborated with grindcore metal band Extreme Noise Terror to perform a death metal version of the dance song 3 AM Eternal.
Ooh, that's exciting.
A performance that prompted conductor Sir George Salty to walk out in disgust. So yeah, so they did this kind of like poppy, kind of like a electronic duo. They do weird performance stuff. Apparently, it's really confusing. If you know anything about this group, please message in the comments and tell us. Share your knowledge, because I looked this up and I don't understand. They seem like when you listen to their music, they seem like a very pop electronic kind of deal. But this was interesting. They collaborated with grindcore death metal kind of like group, Conductors are walking out being like, this is messed up, man, I'm not in it for this. You probably won't get grindcore metal in the Grammys either.
No.
The performance ends with the drummer, Bill Drummond.
His name's Drum.
He gets at the front of the stage and he proceeds to unload a magazine of blanks from an antique machine gun onto the audience.
Oh.
The front man or whoever, someone, then announces that KLF are leaving the music industry. A motorbike courier comes to accept the award on the band's behalf and gets shooed away. End of the story at the awards show. At the after party, the group then drop off a dead sheep, which had something written on it, with something like, I died for you, with you spelled E-W-E.
That's terrible.
Their award that they won on this night, this was in 1992, by the way. The award was later found in 1993, buried under a field by Stonehenge.
Like, what the actual fuck? I'm still blown away, no pun intended, sadly, about the gun thing. Like, oh my god. You can't spray bullets into a crowd of people. I don't care for blanks. That's how the Crow died. What's his name? That's how Bruce Lee's son died. What was his name? Kevin Lee? Something like that.
Yeah. That's the best story the Brits have got to offer you.
It's
pretty good.
Yeah, I'm pretty blown
good.
away.
I did forget about something I wanted to tell you about, which is involving a band called the Libertines. So these guys are like kind of grungy in their lifestyle, not in their music. And one of the singer frontmen is a duo frontman kind of shindig. And he's called Pete Doherty. And there was a lot of scandal in the news about them taking heroin and all this kind of stuff together. And his co-frontman, Carl Barat, he was either on holiday or something after they won an award. And Pete Doherty broke into his house and stole his antique guitar and his Brits award.
He stole his award? Like,
well, it was their award, I guess, but he had it in the house. And
I see.
Pete was like,
I want it.
It's for me.
Right.
Supposedly, these guys needed to have a bouncer in their rehearsal space with them to stop them from killing each other.
That is ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry.
2 years from now, bro.
Well, listen, like I'll say, we can have spats all we want, but it's like, if you literally can't work together because someone's gonna actually hurt the other person, maybe don't be in a band anymore, or maybe just find a different band to be a part of. Like, goodness gracious.
I mean, it's easier said than done when you're famous, so.
I mean, like, Guns N' Roses hated each other. They never actually tried to murder each other.
That brings me on to a random Guns N' Roses fact I have for you, which is maybe at like an MTV Awards. So Kurt Cobain had like a big spat with Axl Rose. Axl Rose was all like, oh yeah, him and Courtney Love are doing heroin. They're talking about alternative rock and saying that we're macho, like misogynistic assholes. Like,
which, I mean, like, you know.
They are. Yeah. And he's like, screw them, they're doing heroin. But they were.
To be fair, everyone's right here.
Everyone is right. There's no debating that. And like, supposedly, like, I don't know, I think there's a step I've missed out. But, like Axl Rose kind of like told like Kurt Cobain to like shut his bitch up.
Ooh.
When he walked past Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love. Or something like that. I remember reading it in something. Guns N' Roses were going to do a performance of like November Rain or something. It was a piano-y one because they had a piano. And supposedly the band, Nirvana, then proceeded to spit all over the keyboard of this piano. Much to their shock and regret and chagrin, they realized that Guns N' Roses were actually doing a duet with...
Oh, no.
With Elton John.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to say. Oh, no.
Rough.
Yeah, that is...
He doesn't need that.
No, Elton John does not deserve that. Like, you couldn't have, like, cut the strings on Slash's guitar or something. That guy did Crocodile Rock. I'm just kidding. He did, but...
He most certainly did. Is that the feature?
Yeah.
I think that's the feature.
That's the feature. So, yeah, that's some crazy... I gotta admit, man, like...
Awards are messed up.
They are, and, like, the thing is, like, American awards, there's just so much, like, beef and, like, catty, like scandal and but like British awards are like seem so much more like intense and violent. Like people are throwing shit at each other.
A little bit gross.
They're killing sheep.
Yeah,
and
like ours are a lot more just like, ugh.
Like no.
What's the lesson here? What have we learned? Other than what we already said, that awards are meaningless and People whine about them too much, about them being meaningless.
I would say the key here is put stock into the music you like, not the musician, not the industry. Like, the industry's never gonna die. They don't need you paying your pennies to be obsessed with it. It's just negative energy. It can be a little entertaining, but I just feel like it's the same thing I feel like with what do they call it? Reality TV. It's like, at the end of the day, this is like publicity schlock. It's like, if you enjoy it, I'm not insulting you. Like, it's fine if you enjoy it. You feel right at home enjoying it. But I just think it's kind of a waste. Like, you don't need an award to say that.
That's all very well and true, but I disagree with you entirely. I think
I want a Grammy, goddammit.
I do want a Grammy. I'm accepting Grammys. dogsofdonation@gmail.com.
Just send an email
email to Grammy.
Our P.O. box.
We'll take it. I think indulge in this crazy world of awards, make it worse, egg the musicians on. But we're moving on. It's time to move on to our famous section. You've been listening to what I usually listen to, and I've been listening to what you usually listen to. And for this section, me and Ethan are listening to an album that each other enjoy.
For Robert, I picked Tyler, the Creator's 2000...
Tyler, the Creator's IGOR.
Yeah.
First of all, arrogant name. Tyler, the Creator. Anyway, overall, it was a journey I liked. What I'll shoot into is that I understand why you like it a lot. Because,
sure.
So this is electronic, this is hip-hop. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of prog style in this. In terms of, if you look at it structurally and musically, they're not verse, chorus, middle eight. And there's a lot of points in that where it's like, this is a musical change that I didn't expect. So the start and the finish are great examples of what the overall album is, absolutely. And the overall album's kind of style it's pretty cool. If you've ever seen the movie Drive with Ryan Gosling, this is absolutely an album that would be in that movie. Like, I'll agree with you that it's a cool space to be in. It's a cool, like, chill kind of atmosphere. It's a nice atmosphere. There's a lot of songs that go on the same kind of theme, which is another kind of, like, prog rock kind of thing, where it's not just about, like, these songs have, like, they'll go wild structurally, but then if you look at it on the context of an album, like, it's a very thematic album, and it's a great song, but every song's the same.
I feel that.
For a lot of it.
Yeah.
Now, this was my initial insight.
Yeah, a lot of heartbreak.
There's definitely like themes running out. There's a lot of like running and all that kind of stuff. Like there's a lot of it's mostly about like movement, about running away from something, which it's relatable for sure.
Yeah.
Not too precise. There's a lot of cliche. Mm-hmm. There's the odd like a lot of songs begin or end with a bit of like a spoken word line,
right.
And there is a spoken word like 7-second song, and that stuff's very cliche. If you're driving a car late at night, passing some streetlights, and you're tripping balls on psychedelics, this is a good album to listen to. Suggested for you. Some of the songs that I noted that like really kind of like hit out of nowhere, I think is great. It's got a really cool rhythm to it. Yeah, the bump bump,
and then that 80s synth, like you said, comes in.
Yeah. Magic Wand I liked a lot because it had like this angry kind of bass synth. Like that's a lot more kind of like the kind of like angry underground hip hop that I kind of dig.
I figured like that, and there's one more I think after this one. It's like that'd be more your.
Yeah, it was cool. I liked it. And then Gone was a really good follow to that.
Yeah.
Because it's that really kind of like acoustic guitar come in and like that ballad. Yeah.
It's really pretty and the girl starts singing. It's
like,
oh, okay.
It's a very good way of kind of like album sequencing. And it's really cool. Like you'll check, if you listen to the album, you will kind of like check your iPhone just to be like, have we changed to a different song? Mm-hmm. Really cool. I'm a big fan of an artist called St. Vincent. Have you heard of her?
Yeah, she just released a new music video.
Yeah, she's awesome. And in a lot of ways, she is an indie rock version of this guy's hip-hop. Or this guy's a hip-hop version of her. In that they do execution in a popular style, but they take a lot of classical and contemporary experimental kind of like approaches to like structure. And it makes it kind of cool. That being said, again, there was a lot of areas where I was kind of like, this is a bit meh, this is a bit repetitive. A lot of this is like, it's a good song, but it's the same song again and again.
Yeah. I would definitely recommend Goblin, which is like real early Tyler, because it's a completely different guy.
Yeah.
Like, clearly over the last 10 years, a lot happened to him, because like in this, you can tell he's kind of torn up, and he's singing about getting through this time in his life.
It's like, the whole album's about running.
Yeah. Goblin is a lot of like, fuck you, fuck me, fuck everything, everything's fucked, and I hate myself. And it's like really intense. And there's a lot of that kind of like, I don't want to say rambling, but like lyrics that don't necessarily make sense, but they're just very visceral. And it's like, so there's a song called Yonkers, and I've always loved it so much. There's a line where he talks about stabbing Bruno Mars in the esophagus. It's fantastic. Yeah, and stab Bruno Mars in the goddamn
I'm back
esophagus.
on board.
Yeah, it's a really cool album, but it's super aggressive, and it turned a lot of mainstream people off him from the get-go, because it was like goth rap. It was just really dark and visceral and gross kind of imagery.
So what rap needs?
Yeah,
rap needs a bit more like, I think for our next stuff, like I'll send you some real underground alternative rap stuff that I like. Be interested to see what you think.
Yeah.
Anyway, to finish off on my thoughts of Tyler the Creator's IGOR. Firstly, I'm gonna read you out my notes, which you can kind of think of as a long form poem. So, IGOR's theme: running, 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 high synth, running out of time, low synth, police TV show. Sometimes you gotta close a door to open a window.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Exactly what you're running from. Rhythm, song, I think. Yes, it's good. I don't know where I'm going. Magic wand on the spectrum, brother says. Angry bass synth. Stream of consciousness. Roll of a dice. Beginner's luck, murder she wrote. What's good is good. Oh, Gone Gone is a good follow to this. Hip-hop St. Vincent, Grammar Boy.
Yeah, it's very slam poem.
Anyway, we're going to have a rating system for this, listening to each of his album.
Yeah.
And it goes from disappointment to revelation.
Okay, I like that. So 1 is absolutely disappointed.
No, 1 is just disappointment.
Okay.
2 is revelation.
Oh, as in it's an either or.
It's an either or.
Okay.
And I would say this album is surprising and I loved it. But he called himself Tyler the Creator, and he put all his songs in capitals on Spotify, which I don't understand. So I'll rate it as a disappointment, but I liked it.
Okay. So Rob gave me IDLES, their album Brutalism. I'll say right off the bat, like it was just like, yeah. Of course Rob likes this. It's an angry British man yelling about things he's pissed off about with some cool, intense music in the background. First off, like from the very beginning, I liked Heel, but I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna get into this because like it's not really my thing. Then the drums kicked in, and I was like, okay, and like I started like feeling like, this is a good introduction. Like this is a good first foot into this album. Like they start repeating this chant, and I'm like, I was like getting into it, and I was like, I can. It was one of those songs where I'm like, I can start singing along, despite this being the first time I've heard this. I'm like,
yeah, it's kind of like,
that's a good sign.
It's got that good. What I find a lot of this band, and what they don't like for reasons we'll talk about later, is that they coincide a lot with that early punk feel of like shout along kind of football chant.
Yeah.
Like drinking chant, British style, where you just like shout it off a simple kind of like line again and again.
Yeah.
And it's a very British thing. You see it in pubs, you see it in football matches.
We should write something like that.
Oh, we would.
Why don't you write something like that?
I've got something like that.
Even Tarquin writes something like that. Mary Berry writes stuff like that.
I'm glad you picked up on that.
And that leads me to Well Done, which I fucking loved. I love that song.
Mary Berry's got a job.
Why don't you get a job? Well done.
It's his vocal delivery is off the scale amazing.
Yeah, he is like, there's something like intense but kind of comedic.
He sounds like a cartoon character.
Yeah.
And it's amazing and I love it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. That song, like as soon as like I liked Heel, I was like, okay, this is a good introduction. Well done. I was like, I think I'm gonna enjoy this. But I will say, I really enjoyed Date Night. Not to toot our own horn, but it kind of reminded me of our energy, like Dogs of No Nation, and I was like, I could see this influence, like just this type of sound, this influencing Rob's, like, just the kind of the way you like put music out when we're just like playing in a room together, like let's see if this works. There was just something about it, but it led to my favorite song on the album, which I don't know if this one was popular or not, but Faith in the City was my favorite. All I wrote in my notes was, there's no God in the city, Faith in the City is a banger. I really enjoyed it.
They have an amazing thing going of dynamics, right?
There's something in like Faith in the City that it's like, it kept pulling me in. I was like, oh, I like the vocals here. Oh, I really like this guitar. Oh, those drums are really... And it's like, they weren't all... It's like, oh, these are all the same thing. It's like, no, it's like the guitar's going this way, the drum's going this way, the guy's singing, and then, like, you know, he's doing his little, like, kind of the way he sings, and then, like, the I'm an Aquarius bit. I get the pain in my neck, because I'm like, oh, yeah, I can just see Rob shaking me violently, like, listening to this in the concert.
We'll be there.
Yeah, like, I'm like, oh, hell
One
yeah.
day.
Ironically, it may have just been because as I was listening to Faith in the City, I'm like, I think this is going to be my favorite. But 1049 Gotho? Gotho? Didn't really like it. I mean, like...
Don't you like the bit where he goes, my friend is so depressed, he wants you to have sex?
Honestly, I don't really know how I felt about it. I was just like, like, I could kind of give it or leave it. I think it was just because, like, I really enjoyed the previous one so much that I was wanting something a bit different. I kind of wanted to keep going down the dynamic road. But I will say, as a drummer, Divide and Conquer was a real fun listen. Like, just the drum work's really, really cool in that. Like, the technical skill and just, like, the accent work he's doing it's really drawing. I don't know if just a normal listener would pick up on that, but, like, as a drummer, I was like... Yeah, like Divide and Conquer is like the drum one. Like if I had to pick a song to cover on drums, I would probably do Divide and Conquer. Rachel Koo was on.
Oh, do you like the bit where he goes, Rachel Koo?
Yeah, I want to say, I was like,
Rachel.
Like it was like Faith in the City, real high note. Divide and Conquer, high note for me. And then it was like I was just kind of listening to it and like following the flow. And then we got to like Benzocaine, and I was like, okay, all right. Like, where are we going? And then at the end of Benzocaine, we get to White Privilege, and I wanted to say, I don't know if this is controversial or not, but I think White Privilege should have been the last song. Like, it just had a great start as, like, an ending to the album. And I was like, this is going to end on a really strong note. I just was enjoying it thoroughly. I was like, yeah, I like what he's saying. Like, this song, this hits in some places I'm familiar with, and I was like, fuck yeah, like this would be a great one to ride out on.
I don't often get super drawn into vocal delivery, but like this album has such very characteristic vocal delivery where it's just like such kind of like angry British shouting, but done in a way that's so musical and so very good in the context of the songs. Really well executed. I was often thinking about sending you one of their other later albums, which you should absolutely listen to, but like this album's, it's such a great first album, and like IDLES are an amazing band. They've got great albums. Their first album is a great example of just like not out of this world experimentalism or songwriting, just great performances, great drumming, great guitars, great vocal performance. Really well performed.
What I'll say is I had a very similar experience with the last song as I did with 1049 Gotho, whatever, is that I enjoyed the previous song so much, I was ready to go in a certain direction, and then it, like, backflipped into a different direction. I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, I kind of wanted to, like, keep the energy from White Privilege, and Slow Savage is a slower song. I feel like it left me hanging a bit for the end of the album. Overall, I enjoyed the album. My final take would be, I would be interested in checking out some of their newer stuff.
I think definitely check out Model Village. To be fair, if you go onto the band and you check out their top 5 popular songs on, they're all absolute bangers.
I think overall, I mean, if we're going off of this one way or another scale, I guess I'd say I would give it a tentative disappointed I want to see more of it, which is a good thing. But it was more like out of curiosity. It wasn't like I have to see more of this. It was like I'd like to listen to some other stuff as well that they've done, because I know you showed me a song and I really liked a few of those songs. I really enjoyed. I immediately was like, yeah, this one I'm gonna hit the like, this one I'm gonna hit the like, so it's on my, so if I'm shuffling my playlist, it'll just pop in and be like, it's that one, like it's the one I really like from this album.
Yeah.
But like overall as a package, it was kind of like it was a mixed bag with some real nice gems in it.
Solid.
But
Yeah,
I'll say,
that's a good. Yeah.
but overall, it was cool because that is not music I look for. So it's cool seeing it and being able to say, oh, I actually really like that. Like this one and that one and this one. Like this is not something I would have found earlier by myself. And it's cool to listen to it.
In summary, disappointed and satisfied all around.
Right.
Which is the way to be.
Yeah.
Am I right?
In summary, we like it, but you know.
That's the show.
Yeah.
That's the show. Give us a like, give us a comment, give us a subby. Why are you looking at me suggestively about subby?
Yeah, cheeky handy.
Give me a...
Under the table. What's a subby?
If you want to get in contact with the show, give us a message. Give us a line at dogsofnonation@gmail.com.
Awesome.
Check out the YouTube channel. Give it a subscribe.
We got 3 great singles on wherever you listen to music: Amazon, Spotify, iTunes.
Everywhere. All your favorite streaming ones. The green one, the rainforest one, the Apple one,
Yeah.
the one in the letter people don't usually use one.
A?
Q.
Oh.
This is the show. Get in touch with us. We'll see you again bright and early.
Bright and early.
Bright and early.
At your convenience.
At your convenience in a week or two, Guangzhou time.
Peace.
Keep it easy. Don't get the COVID.
Rub-a-dub-dub.
Don't let the windows flood.
Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. It's a Southernism for...
What does that mean?
It means get out of my house.